We did our patriotic duty today, and we actually went to the polls, and in addition to shaking hands, I got to see my name on the ballot again. It's a kind of surreal experience, because honestly, I never expected to be doing what I'm doing right now and running for office. But at the same time, my wife and I have 3 children, and we have come to the realization that if we do not have everyday Americans stepping up to serve our country, we are going to lose our country. And I am so pleased to be here, and it was so privileged to meet Bill and appreciate the work that he is doing. I honestly did not, well, I began to understand a little bit about the severity of the immigration issue, even as far back as the late 90s, when I was still in medical school and residency at Duke University. You see, in the hospital, all of a sudden I started to notice that Duke was spending a bunch of money fixing all their signs. Well, why did they have to fix all the signs? We need to have everything in Spanish and English. And then you start to look at the size of our government in general. How much does it cost us to have a government that speaks English, and now all of a sudden we have a government that speaks Spanish as well? It's crazy. But beyond that, the thing that really impacted me just happened actually a few months ago, and I don't know if anyone here has been to our website and seen the video surrounding an immigration reform rally in Durham, North Carolina back over the summer. Has anyone seen that video on our website? Because this for me was a formative moment. I didn't realize what was at stake, but I got an invitation to attend an immigration reform rally that was at Immaculata Catholic Church in downtown Durham. It was just a few blocks from our campaign office. Now, being the good Republican that I am, I go to every event I possibly can. I'm always about meeting people. So I go to this event, and it just so happens that there were immigration activists that were bussed in from all over the state. And there were about 1,500 delegates in this church who were there to advocate for what they were calling comprehensive immigration reform. Now I know better. I know that's code word for amnesty. So that alone is a little bit disturbing. But you would think that people whose focus was getting themselves a path to citizenship would have some sense of patriotism for what this country is about. That there might be some sense of respect for American values, the English language, our flag. But I was shocked to discover, as we settled in and watched this unfold, there was a ceremony at the beginning that involved folks processional to the Mexican flag with people doing Aztec dances. The entire ceremony itself was in Spanish. And I, as a congressional candidate, was given a little earpiece to wear so I could read or hear the translation as if I'm in the United Nations, but no, it's actually Durham, North Carolina. The amazing thing, though, and this is the part that really, really made me sick, is you begin to realize what exactly is at stake. Because here we have 1,500 people who want a path to citizenship. And the folks who are speaking at this rally, who is it? It's the AFL-CIO, it's the SEIU, it's the NAACP, it's the Democratic Party. These are people who are looking for political power. It's not about the immigrants. It's not about economic empowerment. They're simply pawns in a cynical game of increasing the voting power of the collectivists and the socialists who are using our own government against us, against what our American values stand for. And it is an insult to the 600,000 Americans who immigrate and become citizens of this country legally every year. It is an insult. And we cannot have a system of immigration where we do not enforce our own laws and reward this sense of moral hazard. If you can hop across the border, just go for it. The world is your oyster. It's not sustainable. So I look at things from a legal perspective, from a fairness and a justice perspective, but also from an economic perspective, because it's true. Well over 10% unemployment. We've got over 41 million Americans on food stamps. That's over 10% of our population is on food stamps. This is not the kind of country that we want to leave for our children. So I applaud the work of ALIPAC. I thank Bill for what he's doing. I thank Ron for what he's doing here in North Carolina. I know that I can beat David Price in a couple of days. I appreciate everyone's support in this fight, and we have been doing polls consistently. We are neck and neck with this man. He's doing his own polls. He's not releasing the results, and it's all about who gets out to vote. We just actually ended up buying a bunch more advertising over the weekend just to try to fight back against some of the crazy attack ads. Prices dropped $250,000 on ads attacking me over the past week, and this is a man who hasn't bought television in a decade. He knows he's under threat, but that is a good thing. Because the thing that really impressed me most, and if you get to our website, lawsonforcongress.com, and watch that video, at the end, what you see at this immigration reform rally, you see the moderator asking each of the candidates if the candidates will embrace their proposition for amnesty for folks who are here illegally. And the question was asked in Spanish. And David Price is kind of listening, trying to figure out what they're saying. And then he holds up the sign that says yes. Oh. And that's what's wrong. When we have people in Washington like Mr. Price who votes with Nancy Pelosi more than any other congressman, he's not representing us, he's doing what he's told. And when his corporate sponsors tell him, you will be in favor of X, Y, and Z, that's all he needs to know. That is not representing the people. That is what I'm going to Washington, D.C. to change. And I look forward to the opportunity to serve with great individuals like Congressman Jones and future Congressman Santano to make this happen. Thank you very much for your support.